So Savda Ghevra is a resettlement colony in Delhi, and so I will try to explain a little bit and in a fast way what we did. Microhome solution is an interdisciplinary approach that try to provide the housing solution for the low income, and we believe in these three principles. We are a young team. We started a couple of years ago. It was to understand the market and see that there are different needs associated to the different kind of brackets of income. And these show how many resettlement colonies are in Delhi. This is a study that shows how the first one, that are the green one, was located within the 10 kilometers from the center, and later on the latest one are up to 25 kilometers from the center, and usually people that has been removed from the center, so that has lots of complication and on the people that will live there. This is a typical kind of growth of a resettlement colony where people arrive, and within the kind of resource they have, they build unless they kind of saturate the area. And then unfortunately now the kind of trend is that a vertical growth, and I say unfortunately because there is an inverse correlation between the safety, health, and the number of floors. These are two slides that show Ekta Vihar, more than 30 or 35 old resettlement, and this is a new one, 2005 Savda Ghevra. Of course, there are many problems in resettlement colonies. Again, like there is a problem of infrastructure, like the government supposed to put infrastructure before relocating people, but in Savda Ghevra, apart electricity, no infrastructure is there. People still carry the basket to get the water from the trucks, and I think this explains the level of situation. Savda Ghevra is again a very young resettlement colony located almost 30 kilometers from CP, I would say. It's still in process to be filled by people, and these are some kind of the scope of the study that we tried to do there was to understand a kind of the situation and to try to make some policy advocacy on what could be done, and some recommendation that we thought could be transform resettlement colony in opportunity to create a more inclusive city. These are some data. The income is very low because people just got removed. Many of them, they lost the job, and of course, transportation is a very high burden on these people, and I'll go through some kind of data that we gather after a 500 socioeconomic survey that we did in Savda Ghevra. So as you can see, like basic service is much below the standard. These are data that are very recent that we are comparing what we got from our survey. The distance from work is 50% in the range of 1 to 5 kilometers. That is the average of urban India and Delhi. But the last column show that other 50% of the people, in order to retain their job, are traveling like more than 30 kilometers, 15 to 40 kilometers to go to work. And some of them, they expend up to 1,600 rupees per month. The average floor area that the government gave to these people is low, is 12.5 and 18 square meters. That is much below the standard and much below the average of India. And having like at least 4 to 5 people as the average per house, of course, there is no other choice than go vertically. Titles, as in the other resettlement colony, is a problem. These people receive 5 to 7 year license. Of course, this is not mortgageable, is not resellable, so they don't have access to formal finance. To finish, like people that is living in Savda Ghevra and in other resettlement colony can be seen as an opportunity at the local, at the family level. We kind of thought that there is a big scope to influence construction and to give some finance. So this is a process that we test in Mangolpuri, and it was quite successful. At the community level, there is definitely a need to work with the local leaders and to link them with the government, and the government need to understand that decentralization is necessary to kind of implement what the master plan already say for this resettlement and what the law is saying. And this is like the conclusion of the study that we did with the MHT, was really like a kind of suggestion and a kind of debate that we should all engage in, that really talk about how the government should implement the master plan, how there is a need to understand the titles, because in a way the fact that the titles are not completely clear maybe is preserving like other kind of players, like I'm thinking like a private developer, to go buy in blocks, push away the people and get the land, especially in all the resettlement colonies that now are central and well serviced. There is definitely a scope in try to understand better resettlement colonies, and that's what we did. We lived there, we stayed there, we spent time with the people, and creating, putting 20,000 people in a place where residential is the only kind of legal allowed aspect is not possible. We need to think how to bring like security to these people, how to bring finance, and probably, of course, we have to rethink how, instead to try to bring their commercial back that are definitely not interested. And we have to encourage like home enterprise, that is what they are doing, and thinking like more widely.